Preparing to live stream the meeting.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Da 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 da.
Okay, I think
dreaming
of a
of a
white Christmas.
Christmas. Do 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 do. Just like
Oh,
ones I used to
know.
do
Very good.
da da da.
All right, I'm here.
Days.
I'm here in my most festive lipstick and the sweater that I don't dare wear out of my house, even though the neckline is extremely attractive, and I'm ready to start spilling the tea. So,
yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the White Tower. I'm Jess, your Amerlin seat.
I'm Jen, your keeper of the chronicles.
And I was going to wear a pink sequined Santa hat, and then I couldn't find it, and I feel like a jerk now. So I'm very sorry that I let you down.
You look beautiful. You look like you came like from Swan Lake. You have the décolletage. You have the white.
Isn't this neckline amazing?
Yes.
I got this from like a clothing subscription box, and it's like it's really short. It's like short lengthwise. So I will never wear it out of the house, but I kept it because of this neckline. Because it's fabulous.
You can't see, but I'm wearing an anime sweatshirt that I've had for 2 years and I've never worn before because I live in Florida. And where am I going to wear?
Where are you going to wear that?
A sweatshirt. But here at our house, you can't see, but it's like, it's Yuri on Ice.
Oh, yay. We were going to watch that and then we didn't.
The kiss between two boys is happening on my breasts.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's a fandom argued thing, whether they're kissing or hugging, but it was a kiss. It was
I have never seen
Spoilers. Anyway,
which version of my ring light to go with here, and I'm having trouble.
You're actually very, very fall festive. I will allow it because it is a Thanksgiving Day extravaganza, and it is still November. So, I'm Christmas. I'm Father Christmas.
What? You are Father Christmas,
and you're Father Fall. Father Autumn.
I am the Oak King.
Father Harvest. And together our forces combined.
Together we combine to bring you this episode of decompression and bullshittery, apparently. Like, Jen, y'all, okay. Jen comes in hot, like, I think early this afternoon, maybe late this morning. Like, oh my God. Because I texted her, I'm like, hey, you know, if you need an extra day to recover before we record or whatever, that's fine. I know you came from far away, whatever. And she's like, no, I'm good to record. I have so many ideas. And she just like, is like, cat. I'm like, ah!
That's what happens when you go out of the state and decompress and go out into the wilds. But yes. So first of all, I want to show off my PlayStation mug here. The handle.
Oh,
the controller.
Mug.
And it's a PlayStation mug. And on the back, this is filled with rum and Coke. It's like the controls. So I just got this yesterday, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to do this. This mug prompted this stream. So I'm like, I could be sipping from the mug and spilling my tea.
And spilling your tea, spill all the tea.
So
I need to enlist my husband to bring my water bottle. I forgot.
The point of this is the event horizon. What I would like to see is this to be a annual yearly White Tower Pod tradition. Yes, this is deviating from, we have a podcast about these books called The Wheel of Time. If you're here and you don't know about us that way, welcome. No, and I would like to do that at the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, because hypothetically Black Friday is already supposed to have happened. Thanksgiving weekend is supposed to be gone. Everyone's relatives that came over for the Thanksgiving American holiday. Yes, I know Thanksgiving is not celebrated in other places in the world, and in Canada has it earlier on in the year.
They have it like in October.
Yeah. So I know we have a lot of non-American audiences that may be tuning in. And if so, thank you, because I know it's either very late or very early for those that are our European friends, depending on how you look at it.
Depending on how you look at it.
I know Anna couldn't be with us tonight. But So yeah, I was hoping that we could do this and just kind of decompress. And my original thought was to have people either anonymously or in person send us, and you guys can still do this because I'm going to be checking our email and Discord if you guys want to send us like some family holiday stories that you want to share either this year or in years past, the ghosts of Christmas past, things that may have happened to you.
Oh,
Or even somebody you know. It doesn't even have to be your personal story. It could be just a funny holiday story from someone or something that you know about. So my liquor.
I love it. So it sounds like you have you've got a fucking story.
You do.
That you need to tell. So do we want to jump right into that, or
I'll loosen the tea. So I haven't prepared how I'm going to say this, but and this is getting a little bit into Jen's family TMI time, but I haven't seen my mom. Well, my mom moved to North Carolina. She moved, I want to say, like a couple of years ago. She built an entire house from scratch. She's been in it for a while, and I still hadn't seen it. And she was like, "Come on up. You know, we're going to be doing something. You know, have Thanksgiving here." Lo and behold, I came. I haven't seen my mom in years. So it's already getting off to a really good start, right? And my stepdad, now, before I begin, I should say, actually, that's not true. My mom did come down and I had dinner with her once a few months ago, actually. She did.
I remember that.
Okay, so I shouldn't say that. I did see her then, but other than that, it's been a long time. She's been married to this guy. Here's the tea on my mom and this guy, right? Okay, so they dated like when I was right out of high school. They got married and they got divorced like a couple years ago. And I was like, why? She goes, "We're still together. Everything's fine." And I'm like, "Okay, so why are you getting divorced?" And she's like, "Well, because of the whole mix up with his VA benefits." And I'm like, "So because of his VA benefits, you're going to divorce him?" "Yes." "Okay, that's fine. Whatever." It's the weirdest thing.
I don't think that's how, I don't
know.
Think that's how that works.
I'm not kosher with it, but that's how they have an arrangement.
If it works for them, no judgments, but it does sound a little fucky to me.
She goes, "Oh yeah," and then they keep having fights. Like, okay, I probably shouldn't say this. Like, this is my mom, but like, one day she calls me. This wasn't this weekend or anything, but this kind of there's a little bit of backstory. She calls me and she goes, "Jen," she goes, "He's really close with the dog." I said, "Okay." She goes, "No, he's really close with the dog. Like, he takes the dog everywhere." And I'm like, "Mom, it's fine." And she goes, "Yeah, I know, but like, is he too close with the dog?" And I'm like, "What are you inferring?
Like, what do you think is going on with the dog, Mom?"
And she's
Your
like,
family is fucking buck
she
wild,
goes, "I don't know. I think I'm going to send him out to sleep in the RV for a few nights." And I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "I just don't like how he's acting. He just shows too much affection to the dog and not to me." And I'm like, maybe he would, maybe you're suffocating. Anyway, I don't even know what that was about. And that's all I'm going to end on that. But she's like, "Come up to see us." So I come up, and then on my way there, she goes, "No, I haven't been to her house, talked with anything with her." She goes, "By the way, Consuela's going to come over for Thanksgiving dinner." I'm like, "Okay, who's Consuela?"
Who's Consuela?
Very small family meeting. Okay, this is COVID time. You and I discussed how, like, that is not cool. Like, we drove 8 hours one way. That was a debacle. It was just me and Chris and the dog and Mom and Don, who are pretty much sequestered. And she goes, "Well, Consuela hasn't had family in years and she knows nobody. And she's a little lady that lives next door and she never leaves her house and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, can I say no at this point? Did you already tell her that she would be welcome and that you would be cooking for her because she would be at home? Well, yes, I feel really bad for her.
That is not okay.
Like,
on any level, that is not okay.
Sure, have her come over. I don't know this lady. And I'm like, first of all, I would be weird like stepping into this because I'm sure mom is the way my mother has told Consuela, I haven't seen my daughter in years, and here she goes busted up to the Thanksgiving table. But I would just be like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of that scene if I were her. But she chose whatever, and she was fine. She was okay. She's different. She was good. So it was fine.
Thanks, baby.
That wasn't the part that was the problem. So my stepdad, okay, I wasn't prepared, and this is unfortunate, right? This is not making fun. This is not anything bad, but I wasn't prepared for how much my stepdad had slipped into very bad PTSD because he's a Vietnam vet, like, right? Yeah. Like, so I knew that his moods were getting worse. Now, in his defense, he had a full heart bypass, like all 4 chambers, like quadruple, like a while. They had to bust his whole chest open, like it was bad. Jesus. Like he's going back to Atlanta because where they live, it's the closest good hospital. They have to drive to Atlanta, Georgia from North Carolina
Jones
to go to see a good cardiologist. Anyway, to like get some stuff done or whatever, and he was like stressed about that because that was happening today. That's happening today.
Understandable.
But like, so when we get there, this is the first warning sign, and we were just cool. So they have 2 dogs of their own, 2 little dogs. And when we pull up, based on Jess, I told you part of the story that happened on my way there. There was a lot of shenanigans that were happening.
There was some unfortunate incidents
getting to their house. Like, okay, I'll tell you guys.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, this is a tell-all.
I mean, okay, as long as
I might as well. So we're going up. Okay, so because of our planning, it's the day before Thanksgiving. We decided to leave early, but we get in Atlanta right around 5 p.m. the day before Thanksgiving, downtown Atlanta. It's already getting dark and it's raining and the traffic's crazy. We're kind of getting lost, and my mom's calling, where are you? Or which way are you taking? Is the GPS trying to take you a certain way? Don't trust the AI and GPS, and Google's crazy. I'm like, guys, calm down. I'm trying to navigate. I can hardly see it. I'm in wall-to-wall traffic. So I pull over to get something to eat because we haven't eaten. And we were just like, whatever, it's a McDonald's, whatever. So I get out of the car to go pee, and I go into the bathroom, and this is where I'm saying it's TMI. I'm like, oh my God, my period starts. Like, my period starts in the McDonald's bathroom in downtown Atlanta, halfway to North Carolina.
That is
stressed out. I think the stress brought it on.
It's a fucking nightmare scenario. That happened to me. That happened to me on the way to 4th of July in Michigan, but we were in the car in bumper to bumper traffic. There was nowhere for me to go. So I feel you super hard.
Yeah,
so
I was like,
continue.
So here's the thing. That's how it ends. So I'm like, fuck. So, you're wadding up toilet paper and you're walking out to the car to go, get a tampon or whatever. I get my purse. I try to come back into the McDonald's, and they fucking lock the door on my ass. Like, they lock the door to the dining room in the McDonald's, and it's raining, right? And dark. And they just wait till I leave. They're just waiting till I exit the bathroom to lock it behind me. And I'm pounding on the door. And then I look at the time, and I had just missed the dining room hours by 7 minutes. And I'm seeing people eating in there because they had already ordered and they were still going to allow them to eat.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm like, so in the rain and the dark, I'm walking back and forth to the car because Chris is in the drive-thru and he's trapped between cars, and I'm sure all the cars are like, what the fuck is this chick doing, like walking back and forth? Like, I'm gonna have to go walk across the street to some like hibachi place, which happened to be the closest place, and I'm walking in there and everyone's all dressed nice and they're looking at me and I'm like, yeah.
Hi.
So I used the restroom, everything was fine. But that's not really the story. To go back to the thing that was warning me about my stepdad, but he's not really my stepdad because technically they're divorced because of the VA benefits, but they're still together. My mom's ex-husband, technically, So I get to the house and the dogs are barking, and he walks up and he punches with the dog still in the crate. Yeah. Not cool. No, he doesn't punch. He kicks the crate with the dog still in it so hard that the metal door breaks. He breaks the door of the crate. The first
Okay, at that point, I would have been turning the fuck around and leaving.
So I'm like
dead ass. Nope, sorry, I'm done.
I'm trying to give a lot of, okay, he's a vet, he's got problems, he just has another cardiology appointment because of his quadruple heart bypass. Like,
you want to know what? A lot of people have problems like that and they don't abuse animals. I'm just saying.
I know, no, that's how I'm feeling. I'm already there. But I'm like, it's fine. So the next day, Mom and I go for a walk, whatever. They have this beautiful so they live on a place that used to be a golf course, and they decided not to build a golf course. But no, actually the golf course was there, but it had all kind of grown a little bit. So all the little ponds and stuff are kind of overgrown, and little walkwood bridges had lots of,
that sounds really nice,
dense stuff around them. There's nobody around, and it was really foggy and beautiful. So we come back up, and they're like, let's go places. And of course, Don wants to take us someplace. So he's of the opinion where if you just get in the truck with him and you decide to go somewhere with him, he can just decide where the whole party is going and not tell anyone. So I'm like, when I came up there, my mom said, what do you want to do? Before I came, I said, I want to walk around the mountains. I want to see nature. I just want it to be kind of a private nature thing. And Don decided that it would be cool if he just drove around and showed us these concrete RV parks where he used to live, and while the house was being built, and go through downtown City Hall and where the old jail used to be. And the third or fourth place, I'm like, so about going walking, and he was just like, well, if you didn't take so long in the shower listening to your music, I'm like, okay, what does that have anything to do? Well, based on that, I guess we should have already been walking because I took so long in the shower listening to my music. What is your point? So
this thing sounds like a real dick.
He was just being like that. And on the last day, Chris and I were arguing about something, and he overheard. I was trying to decorate the Christmas tree for Mom after Thanksgiving meal, right? Because I would be going back home, and I said, there's no reason for you to pull out all the Christmas decorations that are up underneath the house. We actually went to a Christmas tree farm, picked out the tree, chainsawed it down, put it in the back of the truck, put it up, got all all the stuff out. I'm like, let me help you with this, because I know Dawn isn't going to help you. And let's do the decorations together. If I can't be with you this Christmas, maybe let's at least do that.
Yeah.
So we go to do that, and then Chris and I are bickering kind of about how to do the lights or whatever. And Chris sits down at the table, and Dawn looks at me and he goes, can you believe she fucking said that shit to you? And I'm standing right here, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at my mom, and I'm holding ornaments in my hand, and I'm just by the way, I didn't say this during the Christmas tree decorative time. I make a big deal out of it. I put the Christmas music on, I'm dancing around or whatever. He decides to turn on a sad war movie, Band of Brothers or something. It was really bad. It was really sad. It was that's all that he lives in, and he turns it up loud. To the point where we're walking past gunshots and people dying while we're trying to decorate
the Christmas tree.
It's really fucking wartime, and it's sad, and there's people dying on the television, and widows clutching and wailing over their. I'm festive family time. So I was okay, I'm done. So the next morning, we were actually supposed to leave on Sunday. But I got up Saturday, and I'm just leaving. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay another day with that bullshit. That's
he's like, So I said this, and I'm an asshole. This is where I'm an asshole. This is the tea, guys. I'm sorry you guys had to wait, but this is the actual tea.
The context
is
the
blow
important.
up. This is the fight. This is it. So I walk out. I'm just like, I'm leaving. And my mom is sad. I feel sorry for my mom. I feel so sorry for her. And she's just trying to keep the peace and do the decorations and do fun things. Like, we were supposed to go up a mountain, and I wanted to do that. And then he was like, well, why can't you just get over it? Because you've always been that way. Ever since you were in high school, you could never get over the way that you were treated, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so you are suggesting that the way I was treating was bad. I hadn't heard that. Like, that's amazing. But anyway, that's not what I said. I was an asshole, and I said, that's rich coming from you. How long has it been since Vietnam and you can't get over the war? No, that is a not fair thing to say to a vet that is really going through PTSD flashbacks. And my mom looks at Dawn like, she's fucking said that. I was so pissed. I was like, I can't get over high school. You can't get over a war from 30 years ago. I said, is that your whole personality? Really bad thing for me to say. I'm going to take a sip of that, because not a nice thing. It was not a nice thing. It was not a nice thing.
But
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of
it. I understand.
Not nice.
The impulse, because the thing is that when you are spending an entire weekend, 4 days, with this guy being a fucking dick, and then he finally needles you just right, and you blow up.
He's gonna make fun of me for listening to music the one time I was in the shower. Like, really? So
he's an asshole.
I'm like, so then he gets up in my face. He gets up in my face. And I'm back in his face. And then he's like, well, just get the fuck out. I'm like, well, I was leaving. Like, yes.
I literally just said I was going.
Literally, this began by me saying, I'm
already on my way out.
We're leaving. I feel sorry for my mom, because she's watching this whole exchange. And I told him, I was like, I don't appreciate, I said, you're going to yell at Chris with me standing right there. Like, you can't even look at me in the face and say you have a problem with what I tell him. I said, it's none of your business what I talk about with Chris. I don't like the way you talk to my mom and you scream at her. And I don't say anything, even though I want to, because that's none of my business. And he goes, well, it's under my house. It is my business. I'm like, okay, fine. Then you're telling me that I really do need to leave. So we go to leave, and then I get in the car, and all of a sudden, Dawn yanks open the door to where I'm sitting in the car. Like, I'm already out. I'm like, I'm already out of his house. He goes, hey, don't you ever fucking mention my name again or come here ever again. Like, I never want to see your face again in my entire life. And he slams it, mutual, right? Bud. And then I get out of the car. I said, okay, this is Chris's car. I was like, you're going to slam another man's car door? Like, this isn't me. This isn't mine. Like, you really need to watch what you're doing, because, what if my dog had been poking his head out? But you just slamming other people's car doors? Like, you really need to get over your shit. Like, I was already leaving your house. I was already in the car. I was leaving. We had been done. The conversation had been ended. Like, and you're going to come follow me out and start me and slam the door and walk away? So anyway, I texted my mom all the beautiful pictures that I ended up taking on my phone. And I said, thank you. And she said, I love you very much. And I love you too. And we're fine. But it's like, here's I guess the thing is don't, if somebody in your family that you care about is really suffering through a mental problem or has a legitimate reason to not be okay, it's not good, I guess, to not see them for years and then come up during a holiday and expect everything to be well. Like, I can only blame myself for thinking that he would be okay, and I'm open to criticism about how I acted about that, because I'm not necessarily proud of how I said that to him. He needs to get over it, because I really don't truly feel that way.
No, of course you don't.
But at the same time, it's like, the whole thing is like, do you want to make something that happened to you your entire personality? And that's something you have to really think about. Like, even if something bad happened to somebody, like it's up to you. Because when I met him, the thing is really weird. Like when I met my mom when I was in high school, and I'm old now, he wasn't nearly this bad. He's gotten so much worse as time has gone on. Like he's regressed. Like I guess that's how it can work. Like it's trauma. It's crazy.
I think trauma can get worse over time. The fact that they are in the middle of no goddamn place and very isolated doesn't help. The fact that he is obviously not getting the mental health care that he needs doesn't help. The
VA gives him a lot of stuff. He's on a whole bunch of meds, and he goes to see a shrink and has been for a long time, but he's saying
obviously not doing the job. Like they need to make some adjustments, because the behavior that he displayed throughout the weekend constitutes domestic violence, is what it does.
I know, and I'm worried about my mom being up there. I'm worried about him.
Bitch, I'm worried about your mom too. And that's the real talk.
I know, and I'm sitting here worried about my mom, dude. It weighs heavy on me.
Yeah, I understand why you wanted to talk about it. Fuck.
But see here, the thing, my sister and him, I've always stayed out of.
She didn't show up.
No, she and Dawn have clashed big time, and since I've been out of the family, like I said, for years, except the one time they came down here recently, I haven't said anything about it. I don't talk to them. I just know that she and Dawn really don't talk. So I said something really fucking snarky on my way out the door to my mom, and I feel really bad about it. And it wasn't towards her. It was about the situation. I said, well, there you go. I said, both your daughters can't stand his fucking ass. And that's really not a nice thing, because she was feeling really bad. I could see in her face. She was feeling really bad. And I felt that was mean to say to her that, like, you know, that I just feel like she's gonna just die up there on that property and never know anything else, and not have either of us around for the holidays, like pretty much ever again. Dawn's like, don't you ever fucking mention my name or come down here. I'm mentioning his name, obviously, but I mean,
let's take his fucking name in
somebody's name.
We're gonna take his fucking name in vain.
So I mean, obviously I told him, you know, I was there with him screaming at me, but like it just really bothers me. So yeah, I wanted to unload on that and see if I was alone, if anybody else had any sort of. I haven't been seeing a whole lot of other stories.
Yeah, does anybody else have like fucked up family stories?
Yeah, Jess, I want to hear how you're. I mean, it doesn't have to be fucked up. I want to hear cheery things. I want to hear good things. I want to hear things that make me forget about everything.
Okay.
Like happy, like other people's happy families would be really good to hear.
Here is a story about my happy family.
I would like to hear it.
So when my mom and dad were dating, my mother is one of 5 siblings. And when my mom and dad were dating, he came over to the house to have dinner, and the whole family was there, all 5 siblings, and my grandpa and grandma. And my dad said, throw me a roll. And 5 rolls flew at him from different directions at the table. And so fast forward umpteen years, it was one of the last Thanksgivings where both of my maternal grandparents were with us. We were at my Aunt Lois's house. We were all around the table having Thanksgiving dinner. And my grandfather says, throw me a roll. And we all threw rolls at him.
That's cute.
One of them went in his coffee, and he about fell out of his chair laughing. So,
that's a good story.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
My family has a lot of inside jokes. So that's one of them. Let's see. Our Thanksgiving was actually really nice. We were able to safely visit with my mom and dad at their house. My sister and brother-in-law, unfortunately, weren't able to come, but we were there. And so they live in this kind of farmhouse looking thing out in the middle of the Kettle Moraines, which is a state recreation area. And I think they've got like 8 acres or some shit like that. I don't know. And the house is about 70 years old, and the stairs to go up to the upstairs, they're a death trap. They're a fucking death trap, my dude. No carpet on them. They are bare, like fucking
How steep are they? Like, are they like tall?
They are so, bitch. They are
like short.
They are tall. They're the risers are a little bit taller than normal. The treads are several inches too short. Because they had less space for a staircase than what they needed, but they fucking went ahead and they put it in anyway. And so, like, you're getting your ass workout, like, going up the fucking stairs, especially carrying, like, a suitcase, right? And then my poor dog, poor Simon, he went up once. He would not go up again. You try to coax him up the stairs. He's like, nope, I'm not doing that. And so then my dad, bless his heart, carried him up the stairs to sleep with us. Both nights that we were there.
Tell me about the food you had, because we had really good food. Like, other than me and Dawn fighting, Thanksgiving was excellent. Thanksgiving was really good. Tell me about the food you had. Tell me what you ate. I want to hear all about
it. There were only 4 of us, I put my screen to sleep on accident. Like, I do computers. There were only 4 of us, so we didn't do a whole turkey. We did a turkey breast. My dad did it in the big ass grill. And we had green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, stuffing. My dad always makes a cranberry sauce. Fresh cranberries and orange is the perfect combination. And then the pies that I made, it was pretty low key. There were not a lot of like exotic dishes or anything like that, but we had the staples. And they were really good. And my folks have a bread maker. So the next day when we had our like
fresh baked bread,
we had it on homemade bread, which was fucking
oh
my God, it was so good. It was super good. And then this morning I had the last piece of pumpkin cheesecake for breakfast.
Yeah, so you made pumpkin cheesecake for those that might not have listened to our most recent podcast episode. What
pumpkin
else did you have?
And Dutch apple pie.
Dutch apple pie.
Dutch apple is kind with crumbles on top, not with another crust. And in my opinion, it is the superior form of apple pie. So
we had pretty much the same thing, which I haven't had food like that in a hot minute. So, I mean, obviously I told you I haven't seen my family in like forever. So, and I don't cook. So when am I going to have food like that ever? But no, it was great. So my mom made the turkey, and then she made gravy with like gizzards and like liver and a whole bunch of other stuff from the turkey. Like,
oh, she needs to talk to my dad. My dad loves that shit. I'm like, you can go ahead and keep those innards to yourself.
But she makes it very much. She makes the gravy in it. She with homemade.
Actually, that shit does make good gravy.
We peeled the potatoes, made them from scratch. She did a cranberry thing. I don't eat the cranberry, bro. Her sweet potato souffle. Oh my God, with candied pecans. Yeah, it was really good. My favorite's the green bean casserole, which she had, which is an American staple. Just for our friends that may not be Americans, and like,
and for those of you who don't know what it is, it sounds maybe fancy, but it's not.
It's not.
The ideal green bean casserole, in my opinion, has the canned French cut green beans, not frozen green beans, not fresh green beans. You don't want this to be like a vegetable dish. That's not a vegetable dish. This is not what it's about. No. So you throw a couple cans of the French cut canned green beans in there. You do a can of cream of mushroom soup. One recipe, the recipe that was on the back of the French fried onions also called for milk, but then another one that I found also
evaporated milk, maybe
didn't have any milk in it. So I don't know, but and then sometimes you put milk in it, sometimes you don't, whatever. And then you mix in a bunch of French fried onions, like the little canned crispy onions, and then you bake it. And then right before it's done, you cover it with the rest of the French fried onions, and then you bake it for a little bit longer so they get like nice and toasty. And then you eat the shit out of it because it's delicious.
It's very good. We had that. And then my mom does homemade pumpkin pie, but it wasn't like especially amazing. It was just pretty good. Now, Consuela came over, and I don't know if it was because she wanted to be like woohoo to the Floridian friends, meaning me and Chris, that came up, and she's like, we have I have a key lime pie that's store-bought. It wasn't even opened. It was just shoved in the freezer and nobody even touched it. But she did bring wine. Now, for people like me who enjoy celebrating, you know, especially when there's nothing else you're doing up there except walking your fucking ass up the side of a mountain. You want to have some wine, you know, maybe with your meal. So she brought that over, thank God, because Consuela's from Madrid. So she actually still has a home over there. She doesn't have like
she lives here for some fucking reason.
Her deceased husband worked with the Pentagon, but on the civilian side.
Okay.
So she's lived in Saudi Arabia. She lived in Spain. She said that her favorite place to visit is Thailand. She's been all over.
Consuela's been around.
She's been around,
Lucky.
right? And so when her husband passed is when they bought this property on the side of a mountain. That's how she's my mother's neighbor. But he's passed, and she said that she's not going back over there because of COVID and the travel restrictions and everything else. She goes, I don't have this. She was explaining all this at the table. She said, I don't have the same restrictions as Americans do that are visiting there because technically I have residency over there.
Right.
But I don't want to travel right now and go over there, especially because I'm alone and I'm old, like essentially. She's in her mid-60s.
Okay.
So
that's not really that old, but
it's not really that old. But she doesn't like traveling kind of by herself and being like over there by herself.
Sure.
So we got to hear, like, it's so funny, like how she talks about like American foods and Thanksgiving and things like that. So she was the European influence at the table. So she was a welcome respite. Let's just put it this way: her and Don really don't get along very well. But he doesn't go.
It doesn't sound like Don gets along with anybody. Including the woman with whom he cohabitates,
which I could normally appreciate, but it's a different kind of vibe. So she was kind of interesting, but yeah. So the meal was really good. We didn't have homemade bread, but it sounds like your homemade bread was delicious.
It was very good. My dad is an excellent cook.
Have you ever done, like, since this is like Thanksgiving and Christmas time stuff, what are you doing? First of all, I'm not practicing. I am not a Christian or religious person at all. When I talk about doing all these things and putting up Christmas decorations, things like that, it's more for the vibe. I'm a big vibe person, and I enjoy. I
will say that the vast majority of Christmas decorations that people use are pagan in origin, so you may absolutely co-opt those because that's like Christians. Their trees with lights on them have nothing to do with the baby Jesus.
Nothing.
So, plus the baby Jesus was born in April, so
yeah.
Delusions of Grendel shared a nice story that
love to hear.
It wasn't in Thanksgiving in Canada, but a good chunk of her family was able to fly out to visit her for 10 days. And they spent the whole time drinking and eating and just having the best time. And she says she is feeling her privilege right now. That's just really so nice.
Cool.
So good that you were able to do that. Like, that's just
10
so nice.
days? Fucking hell yeah. That's awesome. Good for you. Hell yeah.
And Wizard Panda says that fun non-family story. He says, I love pumpkin spice. Like, I have pumpkin spice Burt's Bees. Oh, I love Burt's Bees. I got Burt's Bees right here. Where is it? Where's my Burt's Bees? I got it right here. I have little sticks of Burt's Bees stashed all over my house. The coffee shop in the hospital that I work in started selling pumpkin stuff just to me early. Nice. And at the end of pumpkin season, they gave him a bottle of pumpkin spice syrup. Oh, that's so nice. And then Mark says, I like adding soy sauce and a buttload of garlic, salt, and onion powder to his green bean casserole. Yes.
All right, I'm going to take notes.
I'm literally taking notes right now. I'm like, screen cap. Like that sounds
soy sauce
tight as shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I see you. I see you, Mark. Fuck. That sounds awesome.
I don't cook, but I gotta get into that shit, man. Like I know my mom really does. Fun fact, I spent most of the time when I wasn't going to Christmas Tree Charms or involved in family drama or climbing up mountains or doing that sort of thing, there's this bird book. Okay, don't laugh, but this is the Brown in me, right?
I'm not laughing.
There's a bird ornithology like lookbook. And I was like,
bird watch?
No, I didn't birdwatch. I did not birdwatch, but there was a
birdwatching
book, and I was like, this is Grandpa's old birdwatching book. So I sat there excited, and I found out that the duck that visits my apartment complex and has been for the past 4 years is not like a mandarin duck. It's a hooded merganser. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I got really excited and I spent most of my nose buried at night in the bird book. And my mom's like, I know that's what I'm getting you for Christmas. I'm like, you say that like it's a bad thing. Like, I'm really enjoying the fuck out of this. Are you kidding me? So that made me happy. Also, you guys will really like this. I introduced my mom to Pride and Prejudice and Dawn. Dawn actually liked Pride and Prejudice.
Really?
He watched Pride and Prejudice.
He watched it. Which version?
He was doing crossword puzzles and then he looked up, kind of grumpy old man. But he would look up and then he eventually put the book down. And they ended up laying back and watching it. So he did like the progression.
That is so good. What version of it was it the one with Emma? Which one was it?
It was the 1995 one. I know it's not the BBC version, but we couldn't do the whole BBC. Like, we couldn't do all the seasons. Like, we had a couple hours, and then so my mom's like, "I really gotten into Outlander. Have you heard of it?" I'm like, "Are those like the books? Is that like the books?" She goes, "There's books about Outlander." I'm like, "Oh god."
Yeah, girl. There's a million books about Outlander. That's where the TV show came from.
So she's like, "I've got really the show. It's about this girl that I'm like travels back in time to Scotland, and it's like her husband's family, and she's like a doctor." She's like, "How'd you know?" And I'm like, they made us show up the books. I haven't read the books though. So she's like, "You have to watch Outlander." So I watched one show. It was okay. It was okay. She's like, "There's a lot of sex in it though." Like, and I've gotten past the point with my family where I could watch like a sex scene on TV and it's okay. Like, there were 3 sex scenes in the very first.
Nope. Cannot do that in front of my family. Absolutely not.
And we all said there we watched the sex scenes. There were 3 in that 1 hour thing. And I'm like, well, here's another one. And another
one. Look, more people banging. While I sit in a room with my mother who gave birth to me. Oh God.
And my mom warned me, like, she's a horn dog. The lady that does it is a horn dog. I'm like, okay.
If I were hanging out with Jamie Fraser, I would be a horn dog as well.
So I was like,
the thirst for that man is strong.
Oh, so you watched the show, like, you know, the Outlander show, like, you know the show.
I watched a couple episodes of it, but I have read all the books.
Yeah, right. All the books,
all of them. Waiting for the next one.
Really?
It's taking long enough.
You've read all the books, huh? Well,
yeah, I will. I read shit sometimes. Weird.
Like you.
I will. Yeah, I can send you a picture of all of my books on my bookshelf.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to see that.
They're fucking fat too. They're all like this.
I remember them from the bookstore.
Yeah. Landfear says that the Outlander books are basically explicit fan fiction. That is an excellent description of them. My friend Laura and I also describe them as historically accurate smut.
Is it historically accurate? I couldn't tell from the
one. It's pretty historically accurate, I think. Diana Gabaldon was a biologist. She seems to have done her research. Shit. She was a biologist or some shit in her previous life. Like, she knows how to do research, and she spent a lot of time in Scotland looking shit up and stuff like that. So I think that it is relatively historically accurate.
Very good. So yeah. So she told me all about the Outlander, and I guess Don actually likes it too, which is surprising. But he's like, first couple episodes are slow, and I'm like, I don't think I'll be cracking more than one episode to this trip. But yes, yeah, it's very good. So again, like, I want to do this like as a yearly thing where we can all. I know you have to break the ice, like the first thing. So I had like a lot of drama to share, but like I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be a constant, like, a Jen drama thing. I'm like, why don't we have people that can say nice things about their families? And there's a lot of good, happy, because Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. You know, I talked to you about this. So.
I know, and I'm sorry that it was shit for you because Donna's an asshole.
Other than the 1 3-minute fight we had with Donna leaving a day early, which ended up turning out okay, I'm all right.
I'm glad.
You told me not to ever see him again before, which may be one of the reasons why I haven't been around in a long time.
That's fair.
It's fine. You're so cute.
What was I going to say? Right. I got distracted by the chat. We watched all 3 Back to the Future movies. All 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Die Hard.
Yes.
And we watched
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? A Christmas movie? Yes or no?
I consider it to be a Christmas movie.
Yes.
And I understand that this is controversial for some people and that it's a Christmas movie on a technicality. Yes. But I have accepted it into the Christmas lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, anything that brings you joy in the Christmas season is a Christmas movie. So as far as I'm concerned, The Greatest Showman is a Christmas movie.
Anyway, you can sneak that in there, huh?
You can just
sneak that in there.
That fucking movie. I love The Greatest Showman so much. I love Hugh Jackman. That man does not have any right to be that hot.
He's good looking.
Yeah. And a triple threat. Singer, actor, dancer. Fuck you, Hugh Jackman. Go to hell.
I heard that he can sing pretty good, and I know that he can dance pretty good. Haven't heard him sing. What's going on in the chat? You keep getting distracted by the chat. I'm not in the chat.
Something about internalized misogyny, and I'm just keeping an eye out to make sure if we need to give anybody the stanky boot because we don't fuck with that shit. So Grendel seems to have it in hand.
What you're doing. Okay, so I'm looking in Discord. I'm doing the Discord thing, and I'm not seeing.
Wizard Panda says, I used to think Back to the Future 2 was the best, but as I got older, Back to the Future 3 for the win. I agree. I think the Back to the Future 3 is the best of the 3 of them. The first one is a classic. The second one is the necessary step that you need to take to get to the last one. Like, if I'm putting them in order of preference, it's 3, 1, 2. Personally. What are your thoughts and feelings on Back to the Future?
Fun fact.
Also, a trio of holiday movies, in my opinion.
Fun fact. I have never seen.
Don't say it.
All of any of the Back to the Future.
Are you serious? Oh, you should see them. They're so good.
I know. I mean, like, I know what I've seen so many clips, and I've been part of. Like, how can you not get caught up in the American romance with Back?
I've zeitgeist.
Know pretty much everything that happens, and I've seen like all the clips. Like, I even quote the movie with Chris on a continual basis. Roads. But we're going, we don't need roads. Like, and I get the reference of that. Like, I know enough about it. So, but I haven't actually sat down and watched all the movies. Yeah. I did see the part where, like, Michael J. Fox's mom is trying to hit on him, which was really fucking creepy. Like, that whole part, like, I'm like, okay, they did a really good job with that, because I remember being, like, super creeped out where Michael J. Fox's mom is trying to hit on him. I'm like,
okay. Yeah, and he says his name is Calvin Klein. Or she thinks, okay, so he gets hit by her dad's car because his dad, like his future dad, is in a tree, like being a peeping Tom. He falls out of the tree, is gonna get hit by his grandfather's car, basically. He pushes his dad out of the way, he gets hit by the car, so he ends up being nursed back to health by his mom. And like, that was how his mom and dad actually first met. So like Florence Nightingale syndrome or whatever. So anyway, they, for whatever reason, took his clothes off, but he had Calvin Klein underwear on. And so then Lorraine, his mother, thought that his name was Calvin Klein.
Because his name's written in his underwear.
Yeah.
That's so cute. That's so adorable.
Is your name Calvin? It's written all over your underwear. Like,
yes. That's perfect, actually. I like that.
Okay. Mark, he is, I believe, Uncle Ulti in the Discord server, says, the Back to the Future trilogy are my favorite movies ever. I have written a treatise explaining why the switching of Jennifer's actress for the second movie is canon, and deconstructed the Tannen family tree. This is all information that I am going to need immediately, if not sooner. Please share the Google Drive links in Discord so that we may review your work, because I want to read that.
Jess will be the sole arbiter of your life's work, because again, I haven't really seen all three of the movies, so that's going to be a Jess project. Congratulations, you took that on.
Yeah, the actress who played his girlfriend in the first one, I have no idea who she was, but in the second and third one, his girlfriend was Elizabeth Shue.
Okay.
So I don't know if they decided that they needed a better known actress for it, or
maybe there was some sort of contract negotiation issue. Possible.
Anything can happen in Hollywood.
So looks like I need to see Back to the Future, and Chris has been trying to get me on that shit for years. And I want to watch Yuri on Ice with you eventually.
We definitely need to do that. That can be maybe a new holiday tradition for us. Is
Yuri on Ice.
And then run up to Christmas, we can
do that. It's an ice skating movie, so it's very apropos.
It's very appropriate for the season.
I like that for the season. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I don't know.
Oh, here's another funny story from Thanksgiving.
I want to hear.
We like to play a game called Dice.
Okay.
Just dice.
Yeah.
Giant fucking dice in an old frosting container.
Uh-huh.
It's very professional. I think it's a variation on Farkle, but basically I'm not going to go over the rules. It's a dice game, but you can keep rolling the dice as long as you get a 1 or a 5, or you make like a group or a run. And I'm explaining the rules, and I said I wasn't gonna. And then if you don't get any of those things, you bust, and any of the points that you've accumulated during your turn, you lose them. And so my mom was on a hot streak. She was on a fucking hot streak. She was just like going like crazy. My mother is hilarious playing these games because she's just like sort of underhanded competitive. Mm-hmm. And so she'll roll.
Is that where you get it from?
Maybe. And so she'll roll, and she'll look at it and be like, she could stop, take the points, and let somebody else do their next turn. But then she's like, no, I'm better than this. And she rolls again. Like, it just fucking.
She never needs to go to Vegas. Yeah. She never needs to gamble.
I know, right? Or she's like, God hates a coward, and she rolls again. Like,
God don't like ugly. God hates a coward.
God hates a coward. So she was on a hot streak. She got like 4,200 points. And then she fucking busted.
That's amazing. That's what happens.
And then we took a little bit of a break.
Tempted God. You know what that is.
Yeah, I know. You tempt God. You reap the reward. So my dad and Rich wandered off, and my mom was like, I can't believe I did that. I'm gonna fucking regret that for the rest of my life. And I was like, you flew too close to the sun, Ma. And she's like, Icarus. Yeah, just like, what's his name? And I'm like, Icarus. And she's like, Icarus. I kept thinking of Pythagoras.
The Pythagoras' theorems.
And so then for the remainder of the game, it's like every time somebody was getting like, they were really pushing their luck, we're like, you better be careful, they're Pythagoras.
Oh, that's cute. See, you like these stories that make me happy.
Yeah, we have a lot of inside jokes.
Yeah. What do you guys do for Christmas or anything? What are you guys planning on doing for that holiday? Are you guys what are y'all doing?
I think that my folks are going to come out here.
Cool.
Partly because we don't want to traumatize their cats again, and partly because Simon can't go up the stairs to the bedroom.
Oh,
so gonna have them come out this way, and I don't see any reason why they won't be able to quarantine. I think Dad's going a little bit stir crazy with it. Not that he's like out gallivanting around or anything, but he does safely do some other things. But I think we're going to do that. And then whenever we do Christmas together, it's usually watching movies. We watch A Christmas Story. Dinner is usually like lots of little finger foods. We don't actually have like a Christmas dinner. We just have lots of really tasty things. Mm-hmm. We had Christmas at my sister's house last year, and they live in a converted barn, which is cool. And she went to Lindor. Yeah, it is pretty neat. She went to the Lindor outlet in Johnson Creek and got just like a shit ton of different kinds of chocolate truffles. And so we just had a fucking pile of chocolate truffles. Plus she used a bunch of them to make hot chocolate. Bitch. hot chocolate made with Lindor truffles is the fucking truth. That shit is so good. I'm never going back. Packets? Fuck you. No, not happening. Lindor truffles or get the fuck out. Like,
is the truth. I like how you say
the
that.
Fucking
I'm gonna
truth.
steal that from you.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually just, I mean, honestly, it's just, we sit around in our pajamas and watch movies and we play games and, Mom will read, I'll work on cross stitch. Like,
so my mom decided to take up knitting, which I was very like happy for her about. My mom's always like doing something. Like she gets in from grandpa. Like she's always involved in things, which is good. It'll keep her active. But for Christmas, it used to be when I was young, my dad was big on like a Christmas dinner, but his Christmas dinner idea was like a ham. Like turkey was for Thanksgiving and a Christmas ham is for Christmas. That has been a very long time since we had anything like that. I'm talking about when I may have just still believed Santa Claus is real.
Wow. What do you mean Santa Claus? Santa Claus isn't real?
The ancient times. Spoiler alert. Fuck.
Oh no! I do apologize for anybody who has been traumatized by this revelation.
Sorry. Oh. But anyway, but yeah, but we usually try to do some sort of meal, and then we just kind of. Chris really likes Home Alone. Like that's his Christmas movie.
That is a classic.
Home Alone is his jam for true. I like the original Burl Ives Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, the stop motion animation.
Yeah,
one? That's some good shit.
To sing the songs and just like have a good time, but not because I really love the movie or anything, and just because I'm silly with that.
It's a nostalgia thing for sure.
And then yeah, that's pretty much about it for my holiday.
Grendel's like, wait, are you telling me the Santa Claus starring Tim Allen was not based on true events?
That was a cute movie. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. But
I've never seen that one.
Tim Allen, man. He was like the shit back in the 90s. Yeah, and he just kind of
I have a funny story about Tim Allen.
Okay.
So I think I saw this, maybe this was on Twitter. I saw a few days ago. It was the guy who directed Galaxy Quest.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know what Galaxy Quest is, it's a kind of send up of Star Trek, but it's actually actors acting in a Star Trek like film. And then like aliens become real and they bring the cast because they think they're real and whatever. And so Alan Rickman is in it. Tim Allen is the captain, and Alan Rickman is Alan Rickman being amazing. And after one take, the director was saying that Tim Allen was like, I don't like the feelings that I'm feeling right now. And I would like to go back to my trailer for a little while. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Go for it. And and Alan Rickman goes, oh my God, I think he's experienced acting.
Alan Rickman is a savage.
Oh, that was just like fucking somebody get Tim Allen to the nearest burn unit.
Holy shit,
He's
dude.
in critical condition from that fucking burn. Oh my
Alan
God,
Rickman.
I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Alan Rickman, known savage.
Yeah. Don't cross him. He'll fuck you up. So yeah.
He hardly knew ye, Alan Rickman, even though everyone did.
Yeah, no, it's R.I.P.
So my favorite thing now, my newest Christmas tradition, and there's not a whole lot out there, unfortunately, is Christmas trap. I really enjoy Christmas trap music, EDM Christmas. It's good. So I'll get like the harder and the more crazy from the original Christmas songs it is, the better I like it. So the most interesting one that I found was Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter.
Ooh.
Dub EDM trap remix of the Harry Potter theme, which solid Christmas. That's a solid joint.
I bet that fucking
y'all need to listen to that shit. It'll get you very much hyped up in the Christmas spirit. the funny thing that I've always noticed is a trend. Two things. The first thing is for years, I've noticed that especially Southern rappers really enjoy having a Christmas album. They'll talk about trapping through the snow. It's funny. Their Christmas music. Sometimes if I want to get in a good mood, I'll listen to a Southern rapper trying to sing a Christmas song with like gunshots and sleigh bells. It's fucking amazing. Highly encourage it.
What the fuck though?
You don't even have to listen to rap to appreciate it.
Oh,
the continuity there is just so fucked. Like it'll definitely get your brain through a new thing. And the second thing as I noticed is what somebody did, and it's beautiful how they did it. It actually sounds really good. I haven't said this about the other shit. I was like, what is this? It was All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, but it said featuring Soulja Boy. And I'm like, how is this? How? Out of curiosity's sake, I have to listen to it. So it starts the same exact way as Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, right? We all know this song.
Yes.
All I want for Christmas. Sorry, I'm going to sing is, and then it goes, you, Soulja Boy. and they just Soulja Boy, crank a Soulja Boy, and like it starts going on when she does the note. All I want for Christmas is, it goes you, and it's just the soul crank that Soulja Boy, Superman that how. I mean, it goes like directly into Crank That by Soulja Boy from the opening of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, and the two are beautifully combined. And I'm like, this fucking art. That's fucking art. Like this is art. Really good.
Oh fuck, that is art. Oh my god.
It's really good.
That's fucking funny.
So yeah.
Meanwhile, my ass is out here listening to Mannheim Steamroller and Chanticleer.
Mannheim Steamroller is good. I also
Mannheim really Steamroller slaps, and I will not entertain anyone saying otherwise.
What was I gonna say? The best trap, if you want to get into it, like you want to ease your way into it, if you want to get into crap, yeah, it is crap. The trap EDM Christmas music, start with Carol of the Bells because it's instrumental and there's no it's just easier to get into because it's kind of instrumental already, and the way they put the bass to the bells, it can sound, I think it sounds the best.
I can see that for sure,
but it kind of jives, so that kind of eases your way into it. And then you want to get into the Bing Crosby hit remix where they scratch over Bing Crosby singing. You might want to ease into that. But it's good. It's good. Highly recommend. 10 of 10. All right,
I will make note of that. Give it a try, because nothing ventured, nothing gained.
It will definitely wake you up, and it will definitely make you appreciate the good things in life.
Oh fuck, that's funny.
Anyway,
how long have we been doing this?
I think we're good. I mean, it's been over an hour. It's like a normal.
Yeah, it has been over an hour, hasn't it?
I went through my drama. Next year I'll probably give more of an advance warning, because this was today's hair. But I want to do this each year.
She's just like, okay, so I want to do a whole thing, live recording, and we're gonna do about Thanksgiving stories. And then here is a picture of a cougar with a microphone and some rum, and it says podcast, and I want that to be our Twitter header. And I'm like, okay, cool. So
for those of you who don't know, today I decided
she's like texting paragraphs. I'm like, oh god.
That's how I talk. Today I decided to change. I didn't decide. I pleaded with Jess. God bless Jess. You're so nice because you just deal with my whims. I'll talk to Jess for like a week. Obviously, I've been out of state. I'm like, hey.
Here I was expecting her to be like kind of subdued, a little bit sort of like, long holiday weekend, whatever. She's like comes out swinging. I'm like, oh boy.
No. I had some time to decompress. This is what I do. So the depression kind of just went on a backslide, and now the creativity can come to forward for a little bit.
You know what? You got to ride the lightning.
That's what I did. I said we should need to change our Twitter header to it's a caracol. My friend, carousel, not a carousel. It's a fucking shit you ride in your goddamn pony. It's an animal called a carousel. It's a fucking lion. It's a caracal. It's not a carousel. Like tufted ears. And he's sitting in front of like the old microphone we used to have, and it just says podcast, and there's rum next to him, and I'm like, yeah, that's so us, hard liquor podcast.
And tufted ears.
And
sure.
Cougars. Perfect.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Good fucking shit.
Check it out. You could like it or not. So I think that's it for today. We didn't have a toast to anything, but toasting to the spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. No, I don't know what to toast to.
I'm not familiar with that song. Did you know that there actually are words to the Carol of the Bells?
Hark, hail the bells, sweet silver bells. Yeah, yeah.
Years away, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's right. I shouldn't have said that. I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot. You're not an idiot.
I
just thought maybe you had never heard a version of it with the words, and I was gonna be like, ooh, this is a thing that I can tell you about.
Yeah, sorry.
We've sung it in my chorus before. I'm on kind of extended hiatus from the chorus because my singing voice has been kind of fucked up. But that's actually a holiday tradition that I'm really, really missing.
Caroling.
No, we do caroling on State Street, but the Tudor dinners.
I remember the first year we did our podcast, I think you were doing those. I remember. You look really pretty. You had to dress up.
Yep.
And you told me all about your tradition. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's really fun. We all get to dress up really fancy. The men are in tuxedos with like Christmas plaid cummerbunds and bow ties and red flowers on their lapels. And the women all get to dress up in like formal dresses, and we do our hair all fancy and just blingy jewelry all over the place, just everywhere. It's so good. We like go caroling from table to table, and there's a presentation of the boar's head, and they do the figgy pudding. They like set it on fire, and it's so much fun. And then we do a concert, and it's a fucking amazing time. And I really, really miss it because it's become a big part of my holiday season. So
I remember that. It sounds very Dickinsonian.
It is a little bit. Even Elizabethan.
Victorian, if you will.
Like some queen, probably.
Yeah.
But, in the past. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I miss dressing up all fancy. Like how many people get to dress up in a fancy ass dress like 5 nights in a row? You don't get to do that.
You don't.
But with Tudors, we get to, and it's so much fun. And it's like, ooh, it's time for Tudor dress shopping. I've recycled so many bridesmaid dresses. Dead ass. Up until, God, for the first at least 5 years that I was in the chorus, I wore my bridesmaid's dress from my college roommate's wedding, which happened in 2001.
That's baller. That's fucking baller. Yeah. Yeah. I was a maid of honor for my stepsister's wedding. That was a nightmare.
Being in weddings is a little bit of a nightmare, yes.
It's a little bit of a nightmare. That was a whole thing. Yes, there were male strippers. It was a whole thing.
I was the only bridesmaid for my sister's wedding. And she was like, you're the only one, so you can pick out any dress you want to. And I'm like, great. That's fantastic. I love that. And then she sent me a link and said, this is the dress you're getting. Yeah. But the dress she picked out was very pretty, and I also recycled that one for tutors as well. But yeah, that was just classic Andrea, like 100% classic, total Andrea. You can pick out any dress you want, but I want you to get this one. Okay, Anne, you got it.
It's not even like I want you to get something in this color and this kind of style with this neckline. No, this one.
But she did a good job picking it out. It was very cute. It had an empire waist. It was like a sage green color. It had beads. It was very nice.
Very nice.
But it was good that she picked that one. But because like my best friend from high school, Emily, had me in a strapless A-line. And I'm just like, can I please put something over my arms? I am extremely uncomfortable like this. Yeah. And she wouldn't let me.
I didn't realize, like, when most women get older, like, they're very uncomfortable about their arms.
I wasn't old at that point. I was 24.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about, like, I've just never 24. Old when you're 24.
That's not how age works. You're not old when you're 24.
Yeah, no. Like,
I just have never liked my arms. So
yeah, a lot of women don't. I would be one of those, but I don't like anything. So there you go. No, yeah, I'm really happy to be back home. I feel recharged. The mountains are fucking fantastic.
The pictures that you took were beautiful.
Oh, you saw my pictures?
I did.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time, as much as I could, when Don wasn't shuttling us around in his truck. I spent as much time around outside doing things as I could. We went to a dam. We went up the mountains. We went all around. Chris and I used to go with his parents every year to Cherokee, North Carolina, which is right close to where I was staying in Murphy. And they just have fucking bomb ass trails and shit. It's like gorgeous out there. Oh, you can hear my dog in the background. Maybe.
We had some late folks coming in, so let's stay and keep up the bullshit for a little while for them.
Let's stay and keep up the bullshit for a little while.
Yeah.
So
Kevin from Australia popped in. Becky's here.
Well, ask us questions like I've been done with my drama. We're talking about
y'all tell us. Everybody, you have an assignment. Please tell us one fun holiday thing that has happened to you.
Or someone you know.
Or someone you know, just something funny. Let me think. What are other funny stories? Oh, here's a good story. This is a Christmas story.
Yeah.
When I want to say 12, I was very, very into the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Very into it. And so then we have this thing where my parents liked to hide little presents inside in the tree, not just under it, but in the tree. And we would have to go looking for them. Yeah. And so one year there were like two little stuffed Santas that had like a little piece of paper clipped between their hands. They were tickets to go see the Phantom of the Opera in Chicago. I shit myself. I was so excited. I like shrieked. Like it was the first professional show that I would have ever gone to.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just, I've gone to a million of them since then. Yeah, no, it wasn't we didn't go. It was at that point I had never been to one. No, it was the very first one. Okay. I worded that poorly and I apologize.
Okay.
So yeah, I just lost my entire goddamn mind and it was amazing. And I just have to say, especially like big shout out to my dad, the mechanic, for like indulging all of my fine arts bullshit. This man has gone to chorus concerts. This man has gone to see the ballet. I dragged my whole family down to see the Nutcracker one year in Chicago. This man has sat at recitals and all of this shit, and bless his heart, it's not necessarily his thing, but he's very supportive and he's very proud of me. Good. So that's nice.
That's very good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
So he probably likes it more than he lets on anyway.
Happy.
But this is the man who plays the banjo. Like he likes bluegrass.
That's really cool. Like,
that's another story. My dad would play, the opening song to the Beverly Hillbillies on the banjo, and my sister and I would dance around the living room.
That's fucking cool. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I used to watch that show when I was a kid with my dad. here's not a Thanksgiving story, but it is a holiday fall story, and it's very heartwarming and
I love it.
apropos.
I can't wait to hear it.
The biggest thing when I was growing up wasn't Thanksgiving or Christmas, it was Halloween. When I was very young, later the reason for this is I guess the woman who threw the block party, her son came down from college around that time, so she always wanted to do a big shindig for him.
Nice.
So it turned into a block party for all the kids, and we're talking block party like several blocks, like there was a whole subdivision by the golf course that, oddly enough, it was another golf course that I lived next to growing up, and all the kids would come over, and she'd said it would be so big that obviously we couldn't go inside the house. It was all in the huge front yard she had. She had a tree, and we did bobbing for apple contests out of a big bin. We had pumpkin carving contest. She did a witch's brew with like the Sprite and like all like the
oh, that's so cute.
That she handed out to all the kids. They were fresh grilling barbecue, like a hot dog and hamburgers fresh from the grill. You just stood in line and waited.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I want to go to that party.
It was all buffet tables were laden outside. It was just like this nuts thing. And what happens is my grandfather had a tractor, and he pulled a like just like a flatbed like trailer, and he filled it with hay, and he would take all the kids on a hayride to go around the thing, and the older people in their homes and do trick-or-treating and the hayride for blocks, as my grandfather did the hayride for everybody to go trick-or-treating.
That's so fun.
So we had the cookout, we had the contests and games, we had the pumpkin carving, everybody in their costumes, there was music, there was hayride, there was trick-or-treating all over the block. Amazing. Everybody was involved. Yeah. Man. So that was really cool when I was very young. I had a really good Halloween experience with that.
That freaking sounds amazing.
Yeah, that was fun. That was probably the best, like, heartwarming holiday experience. Not Thanksgiving or Christmas, but Halloween for sure.
Becky got a ticket to see Phantom of the Opera in Portland by herself when she was 17, wore a fancy dress and everything. Yes, girl. Yes.
Love it. Very good stories, Steph.
Adrian, Phantom was the first big show that he went to as well. School trip, apparently. Almost missed getting the permission slip in.
Oh, no.
But apparently got it.
Very good.
Looks like Jen, Lesbian Nerdy, has a fun one. She says, my mom is uber religious, and so a big part of the day was her reading them the Christmas story from the Bible, and the family all listened in. Oh, wait, no, I missed part of it. Okay, fun Christmas story. I just thought of, we had this family over for Christmas one year who had just moved to Canada from India. Oh. My mom is uber religious, and so a big part of the day was her reading them the Christmas story from the Bible, and the family all listened intently, nodding and asking questions. And then after she had told them the entire story, which ended with Easter, because of course it did, my mom being who she is, the father says, so I have a question. Who is Santa Claus? Oh, that's so good. Kev got his mother tickets to see Aladdin for Christmas a few years back, and apparently it was amazing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and she brought him along instead of his dad or one of her girlfriends. So they got to go see Aladdin together. That's so nice.
That is really sweet.
That's sweet. I love it. Let me see. What are other good Christmas fun times? We always used to get a real Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. And our cats used to like to hang out in They would climb it, and they would hang out in there, so you'd walk by and there would just be like these eyes just looking. Mm-hmm. That was always fun.
Yeah, our cat likes to hang out underneath the tree and like kind of do the surveying, just kind of like you said. Sometimes she runs out and tries to chase shadow from it all of a sudden. Today I caught her trying to eat the little icicle things that hang down, like little tinsels. I'm like, Don't fucking do that.
You can't be doing that. That's not going to turn out well for anybody.
That's fine. Chris's sister, like, you hear about those cats that really destroyed Chris's trees? I'm talking fuck up Chris's trees.
Yeah,
thank God
right
I never had anything like that. But his sister, though, each year she put up a tree. She's like, okay, you can't have any ornaments, lights, or anything the first 2 feet of the tree. You can't have it the bottom 2 feet. So like, that's tacky as fuck. I'm like, what are you doing? But apparently that is not unusual for cat owners. If they have a tree during the holiday
I think people with children as well.
I don't know what they do. I'm like, how the fuck you gonna put Christmas presents underneath there for your kids? Anyway, but she's like, no, you don't understand. No shiny things, no lights, no balls, definitely nothing hanging down. It's got to be like up so where the cat can't reach. And half the time the cat would be climbing up the middle of the tree, turning to the top, and the whole thing would be like bending over. Like, it was bad. I was like, it was textbook. Like what you hear about, like the nightmare stories of the cat.
At that point you just kind of need to come up with like an alternate option.
I'm like, listen,
that's just too much.
I'm like, I'm not putting up a Christmas tree and have it like bare ass, like it's whole, like Porky Pig in it, like whole ass hanging out, only the top. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like your bare cheeks hanging in the wind, you flapping down there. Porky Pig up here. Your fucking shirt.
Fuck off!
Fuck you. I'm not doing that. A tree, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, fuck you. God damn it.
Fuck you.
Tree, Porky Pig in it. Oh, fuck off.
That's what I'm saying. No.
Oh, God damn it. My childhood cat, Otis, my dad has been very into model trains.
Yeah.
And we would have, so consequently, we would have like a train going around the bottom of the Christmas tree for a while there. And my mom had one of those light up Christmas villages. So we would make like a whole like cityscape down there. Yeah. with the light up houses and like like you fucking killed me, bitch. Like the white flannel for snow and shit like that. And then Otis, who was not a small cat, I want to say he was 17 or 18 pounds. He wasn't fat, he was just big. And then he would go sit under the tree amongst the village, like just giant Godzilla cat, just waiting to destroy the whole thing. It was just he just loomed. This giant black cat just looming over this little Christmas village, this unsuspecting town of revelers. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, my grandfather was the same way. Like the model trains, like we had that going on the tree at his house when I was a little kid too. Like I think that was just like a grandpa thing for sure. You know, somebody mentioned something on social media a couple of years back, and it's really sad. They're like, you know, no one's gonna know what like grandma's cooking tastes like after a while, I think, in America anymore, because none of these bitches really know how to cook. And like and I'm like, I'm trying to think like of my generation for the most part. I mean, obviously not everyone, but like once we get grandma age, I mean, technically we're almost there now, but
I mean,
like I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able, if like say if I had a kid, like I'm not gonna be able to make like a turkey dinner with all the sides like you can, Jess. I can't, there's no, I'm not gonna hand any recipes down.
I've never tried my hand at making turkey. I don't know if I'd be able to execute on turkey. I can do the rest of it, but I don't know if I can execute on turkey.
I don't like how the youth of today, you guys are just fucked. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy homemade cooked meals for growing up now, because that shit is going the fuck out of style in America anyway.
Gonna have to get your fucking Thanksgiving dinner from Boston Market.
Yeah, there you go. You're gonna have Kraft macaroni and cheese, and you're gonna have dinner rolls and
deli turkey from the grocery store. It's just like a pound of like Christmas pepper turkey.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't cook like a turkey. Like, nah.
I am good at cooking. I don't particularly like cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very good at baking.
I'm good at baking. I do the homemade bread. I do the homemade bread. I told you about that. I could do that. But that's about it. I haven't really gotten into anything else. So yeah.
Adrian says the new oven we got makes cooking roast super easy. Stick the temp probe in and the oven turns off when it's done. That's amazing. And I'm going to need you to link me up on that one, just, for future reference. And Becky says, my paternal grandmother and great aunt used to host a big family Christmas potluck dinner every year. Of course, like 90% of the food was cooked by them. Nobody else could keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, you always get that one poor person in every family, right? That's slaving away over the fucking kitchen stove.
But they wouldn't have it any other way. Like, you offer to take something off of their plate and they won't do it.
They won't do it. And it's the person that cooks for everyone, I've always found there's like a direct link between the person cooking for everyone and the fact that they won't fucking eat until everyone else has gotten served, and they'll be like the last person that will choose to put something on their plate. Like, the person that makes everything is always the person to eat last, and because of their own
when really
choosing.
You should be arm wrestling them first in line, and then they have to sit the fuck down while everybody else cleans up.
Yeah, they're like, no.
No,
Like,
I got it. We're like, we would like to spend time with you. Would you please stop?
Did you get out like good china when you were a kid? Like, did you have like the china for holiday meals?
Nope, we were poor.
Yeah, we were poor too.
We had Corelware, the kind that has the little kind of orangey brown. It was white with the orangey brown like flower things around the edges. Yes. And there was one of them that always looked like a face to me. That's what we had. Corningware.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom uses
the stuff that is not. It's supposed to not break.
Yeah,
when you drop it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My grandmother had china and a hutch. I don't know what happened to it. I think my mom has it. Who knows? We definitely did not use it this year. When I went to visit her, for good reason. I mean, it's just what it is. Mm. So, yeah, I don't really think there's much more to talk about. You said there's some people.
Oh, I have another story.
Okay.
Not necessarily a holiday story, but it's a grandma story. My grandma Ellen, I was either really, really little or I had not yet been born.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother made a pineapple upside down cake.
Oh.
And she kept trying to call everybody in from outside to come eat the cake. Mm-hmm. And they were not paying attention. They weren't coming in. And then finally she goes out on the deck and she just yells, "Somebody get in here and eat this stupid cake."
Sounds like I love her already. So I love her.
The rest of time, pineapple upside down cake in my family is known as stupid cake.
That's great. I love it. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. It's so something I would say. Yeah. I like her. I like her a lot.
She was amazing. I love her very much. Becky's eating pork roast. Jen says you must never use the good china. That's for when the queen comes over. Kevin says I cook an A+ roast, but I'm perpetually single and happy to be so it's not likely I'll have grandkids about to eat it. Waste of talent. And I said that he can make a roast for my grandchildren.
When I was little,
Christmas? Oh, sorry. Oh, I was going to ask, do you do Christmas cookies or anything?
The only cookies we do a Christmas thing, and we just had that tonight and last night, is when we do our Christmas decorations. We bake cookies and we put on the Christmas holiday music, like the old school, not the trap, but like the old school Christmas holiday. Mm-hmm. We drink liquor. We take a couple shots. We pull everything out and we do the cookie baking, Christmas tree decorating. All that is during that time. Nice. But that's kind of it. So our biggest Christmas tradition has just since passed. It's the actual decorating the tree. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody knows this, but trimming the tree, like, what the fuck is that? You hear about this in the old songs. Like, is that like decorating the tree or like cutting the tree branches back and you do that the night before Christmas? Like, there's old songs.
Trimming the tree is decorating it.
That's what it's
like. Yeah. And I think that there are some traditions. I think maybe they used to do it back in the day where the Christmas tree didn't actually get decorated until the kids went to bed on Christmas Eve. So then it was like a big surprise when they woke up the next day with the presents and the decorated tree and everything.
Okay,
to me, that just seems like a big
waste
of time that you could be looking at a beautiful Christmas tree. So
I hope you like the 1 hour you got to see it.
I know, right? And so then we'll take it down tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
That was worth the effort.
Yeah. Oh, because I realized if you go back and listen to a lot of those old songs, they had traditions back in the day. We do not have.
We don't do anymore.
And they talk about trimming the tree like the night before Christmas. And I'm like, that doesn't happen. So it's funny how in so short of a time, the Christmas stuff is just a little bit different than even how it is now.
Lanfear says that she's in Germany. The Christmas tree goes up a max 1 or 2 days before Christmas there.
Very interesting.
That is extremely interesting.
That's more old school. That's more traditionalist. That's definitely more kind of how it used to be here. But I think the consumerism of America, the capitalistic
that probably has a lot to do with it.
Has said you put up the tree, you decorate the tree, you buy things for the tree, you look at the tree, and the tree compels you to try to go out and shop to put things underneath the tree. Like I think there's a whole, that everything was supposed to be sacred about it is gone. So, but it's a fun thing. I think now, like we don't have kids, we put the tree up and do all the decorations, just for fun for us.
We have a great big tree now. We're doing the artificial tree just because we're not great at taking it down in a timely fashion, and we would rather not burn our house down with a very dry Christmas tree. Plus, like, I'm not 100% sure how you get rid of a live tree anymore, because when I was growing up, we always lived out in the middle of no goddamn place. And so then when it was time to get rid of the Christmas tree,
they're in the woods.
We put it out in the yard by the bird feeder so that the birds could hang out in it.
Yeah.
And then when the needles and everything were gone, we went and threw it out in the woods.
Yeah, they're in the woods.
So we can't do that here because we live in a town.
Here, I think you put the trees down by where they collect the dumpster waste.
Yeah, I think that they have like special Christmas tree collection here in town. Like there's a specific day, but
yeah, there's something going on like that. Our thing is, our newest tradition is we don't take the tree down until a week after January 1st. It was the thing. It was the newest thing that now is you're keeping the tree up, because it used to be you took it down like right after Christmas. But I read somewhere that like the tree, the latest time to have your tree up is like a week after January 1st. Like within the first week of January is when you take your Christmas tree down, which is weird.
I leave mine up until Imbolc. Which is the first
February 2nd-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like actually a really good festive time to take down
because it's January and it's dark and I like Christmas, so
yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah.
What was really interesting, well, first of all, we have some fun interjections here. Jen says, I hate roasted chestnuts, but I love the song. Fair point.
Yeah, I like the song too. A lot. I sing it. Jokingly, half mockingly, chestnuts roasted, like joking around because I can't sing. I love it though.
Actually, you can carry a tune in a bucket when you're paying attention. I'm just saying. My mom, Desmond says, my mom puts up the tree 2 weeks before Christmas and it doesn't come down until March. Hell yeah, Des's mom. That is a fake tree, however. Becky, now that she's able to establish her own traditions with her kids, she's going full pagan.
Very cool.
Fuck yeah, pagan holidays are dope. Kev says, my dad kept a 7-foot potted tree down the side of the house year round, and we didn't have money to go get a tree every year. So dad kept this one tree alive for years so we could have a nice tree. Aw.
That's really fucking cool.
That's really awesome.
So fun fact about Christmas trees and taking them down and keeping them each year and everything. So the main reason why we went this year, a couple days ago to find a tree for my mom at a Christmas tree farm is because now that she lives up in North Carolina, she goes and have this property. She goes, I actually want to, for the first Christmas that we're going to have a family up here, I actually want to keep the tree. I want to like plant it like, or whatever, or just have it potted or something like inside the house. But like, so we went up high elevation to get the tree at this farm. And the thing is like, what is your elevation? Because the different kinds of firs can only grow in different places. I guess there's a Fraser fir, which can grow in lower elevation. And then there's like the really pretty fir. But we're talking like, when you think of a Christmas fir tree, like you're talking like, I didn't even consider this. Like that shit is way the fuck up on mountain. When you look at all these beautiful Christmas tree and like stuff like that, and you like most of the time for it to continually grow and not die off, that shit's got to be like at a high elevation year round. So I was like, oh, I didn't know. And they're like, well, how high up are you? And Mom's like, pretty low. It's only 2,000 feet. And he goes, yeah, that shit'll die. And so we ended up having, like I said, a chainsaw and stuff because that wasn't originally her plan. But because she lived at such a low elevation and the types of trees that were on this farm and that are all up there, it was very interesting to learn about that. So anyway.
Cool. For the longest time, I never knew that tree stands existed. Because in my family, when it was time to put up the Christmas tree, we would do the real tree. We would take a 5-gallon bucket and go out to the gravel pit where they had a bunch of sandy, like dirt by the gate. Dad would put a 4x4 post in the middle of the bucket, fill it up with sand. We'd take it back home, pull the post out, put the tree in, and then we would wrap like this old quilt that my great-grandmother actually made around the bucket. And that was how we did the Christmas tree. I never knew that Christmas tree stands were actually a thing. I just assumed that everybody put their Christmas tree in a 5-gallon bucket. Desmond actually asked if I miss living in the country. And I miss the quiet, and I miss being able to walk outside my door and see just like tons and tons and tons of stars. Like no light pollution. But I also really like the convenience of a short commute to work. Being able to order delivery food and groceries and things like that. And I know that Rich would like to live someplace more rural. I have not made my peace with that at this point in time because I am kind of a whore for the conveniences of city living. So I'm not sure when we decide to buy a house, I am not sure how that whole thing is going to pan out. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big thing when I was up there. Because first of all, we forgot that we have white noise every time we go to sleep. So the fan's always running, and we did not take one when we went up there. So it was just like dead silent out in the middle of the country. We're like, oh, we not only do we have it on our fan, but we live on the road where the airport is. Just so is my address. It's
yeah.
Quite literally, we have train tracks that are about 2 or 3 blocks away from us, and we also live next to a nursing home, and they don't have an on-site medical staff. So every time there's a problem with one of the elderly people in the nursing home, they call the fire engine and all the police to come in and take care if there's a medical call. And unfortunately, some of those are sad. But it happens like all the time where I'm at. And we also live right by the freeway, like the highway. So all of those
lots of noise, lots of lights.
Lots of noise. So we're like, we just get used to it. It's just background noise for us. But we're like, whoa, so fucking quiet.
It like when you're used to a lot of background noise,
yeah,
being outside someplace that rural, it's the silence is almost oppressive. It's heavy, you know?
Yes.
Until you get used to it, you're like,
yeah,
what's happening?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, my folks live out someplace like that, and it's just it's really nice. They love living out in the middle of nowhere, which, you know, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if I would want to live in a, like, there's definitely a lot of appeal to it, but you know, we're adopting this kid and we have to think about schools, and you know, I've never had to worry about a school district when I've moved someplace before. So like we have to think about that. Like I was like, just for fun, like we're working on getting our credit scores up and stuff like that because we want to buy a house kind of soon, since we're going to do this kid thing. And I was looking at a place. I was thinking, okay, being closer to mom and dad would be nice. They're about an hour away. Andy and Luke are about 45 minutes. So moving someplace closer to them would be nice. And I was like looking around and I found this house in Sullivan, and it was kind of a cool house. And then I was like, oh, the school district is Jefferson. I know Jefferson. Jefferson is trash. And their school district is trash. So that's out. Womp womp.
It's very interesting. I have to consider things. Yeah, one of the reasons why my mom likes her property out there is because it has buried electrical, which is fucking cush up there in the mountains. Because
fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, you need that. City water. She doesn't have septic. She actually does have city water. She has
city water
in the mountains. Buried electrical lines, and
where is this cushy ass place that your mom lives in the middle of the fucking
because she got on that it was the golf course that was supposed to be there, remember? So they had buried electric and city water. So that's why she got that lot. And she has gas. It was very interesting because obviously everything up there is gas. So coming from electric, I'm like, you know, it's kind of cool to hear my biggest, you know, sound memory, which I take from that, was her clicking the gas burners on, like the clicking of her cooking the food and stuff. I was like,
and the click 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 whoosh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's so crazy. And
I have a strong preference for cooking with gas, and it makes me sad that I have a flat top electric.
Mm-hmm. That's all that's down
stove
here
right now. I don't like it.
Top. There's no gas. No gas. Like, it's crazy because like there'll be like one or two places that will still use gas. But everything is electric down here.
Mm.
Also, believe it or not, the fact that we are in a hurricane area, there's hardly any buried electrical, it's all telephone poles still, which is like,
that's interesting.
Yeah. That's why you hear about the power going out, and it's the main thing after hurricanes and storms and stuff down here. Floridians talk about it, and they have all those fucking hurricane parties, is because all they need to do is just bury the electrical lines, but they don't. It's really weird. Anyway, but yeah, that's still the thing down here. It's neither here nor there. We're kind of getting away from the holiday discussion, so we can go back to that.
Yeah, let's see what else about holidays. What's the best Christmas present you ever got?
The best? Oh, I might have to think about that for a while. I know the most disappointing Christmas present I ever got.
Oh yes, do share.
I think I told you this. I think I might have said this on the podcast. So when I was really little, I got a magic 8-ball. It's one of like just the castaway presents. I got like a little really? Shake from the 1960s.
I fucking love magic 8-ball.
And I thought it was real. I thought it could tell me all my wishes, whether they're going to come true or not. So I was just engrossed in it. Like that became my most favorite Christmas present for like 2 minutes. And I was just engrossed in it. All of a sudden it slipped from my hand and it fell across the floor, and it landed with the side up that tells you yes or no or whatever.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I said, wait, I hadn't wished anything yet. So why is it? Wait a minute. So my little girl self picked it up and just turned it over, and I saw it kept giving me answers, and I was like,
oh.
So 5 minutes after
I
opening
want
it, I
to
thought it
hug
was
little
real.
girl Jenn so much.
I was like, but I haven't wished for anything yet. Why is it?
Aw, beans. That sucks.
Yeah, that was my most disappointing Christmas present.
Aw.
No, but my favorite one, I'll let you go because I got to think about that. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I think
had a good one.
Like you can't really top the Phantom of the Opera tickets, I feel like.
That's
But
awesome.
we got Super Nintendo one year.
Yeah.
That was tight as shit.
I got Sega Genesis the year I got that. That shit was fucking tight.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. It came with the original Lion King game and the Aladdin game, which are some of the hardest Sega Genesis games.
Nice. Let's see what else. Well, Rich got me that fucking baller KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah.
I used that to mix up the cheesecake. It was awesome.
He did a good job with that.
Yeah, he did good on that one. Did I tell you that he bought me the another entire set of the Wheel of Time books?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, last year. He's like, so now you can have a nice one because my books are all destroyed.
Yeah, that's really so sweet of him. He did. I remember he told me that.
He's so sweetie.
Yeah. Oh, we can plug what we're doing on our Discord, I guess, so the people that aren't part of our Discord. Speaking of presents and gifts, but not really presents and gifts.
Oh yeah. We're some folks started talking about doing a gift exchange. And of course, because we have folks who are all over the place, in terms of international shipping and things like that, it can be really hairy, especially around the holidays. So they decided instead to do a Christmas card exchange. So folks are signing up, and everybody's going to get assigned a person, and then everybody is going to get a Christmas card from someone else in the Discord. And I think it's going to be really, really nice. And I'm really excited about it. And bless Anna for being the one to organize the whole thing. She just took that on. Like, go on, girl.
My dog is like giving me the weird eyes. So hold on. Here, Shadow. You know what's that? Oh, yeah, it's past 10:30. It's time.
Oh yeah, does
Shadow him staring at me? Can y'all see this?
Yeah, I can see Shadows. I can see Shadow's eyes glowing.
His eyes were like,
he's like,
this is doing it again, and the light is like fucking creeping me out.
He's like, excuse me, I have needs and requirements.
Go pee pee, and Chris, I think, has fallen asleep on the couch. So
okay, so you would need to go take care of him. And honestly, I should probably go to bed. So
care of him. He's like, he's doing. This is what he does. He's like, Mom, I need to go outside. You go pee pee.
My bladder is full. Please help me. He's like, Zoe does the same thing. Actually, she does a very similar expression on her face when the time is upon us. So
he's like, come on, and I know, buddy, you're on a schedule, honey boy. Okay, so I might have to cut this short. Sorry,
yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up then.
Look at him.
I know, he's just like, God damn it. Oh, he's adorable. He's like, he's mad dogging you, dude.
He's like, hey, bitch. 10:30, it's not 11. Chop, chop.
All right. So, you know where to find us.
On YouTube.
You're our most loyal listeners.
We do a podcast, but I think everyone here knows
this is not a thing. So tell we're doing this as a regular episode as well. So tell the people where to find us.
Okay, so Jess has done us all the favor of creating a one-stop shop for you to find us on everything social media. It's a link tree, bit.ly/White Tower Pod. We're most active probably on Twitter, but also has our email address, the link to our Discord, which is where you can find our little Secret Santa white elephant gift exchange that we talked about earlier. And we have a Patreon. We got all sorts of stuff there. So check us out, including all of our backlogged episodes and blah, blah, blah. And I think that is about it. I'm sorry. He's just
I think so too. We need to attend to Shadow. So I believe that is everything we have for you tonight. On behalf of all of us here at the White Tower, we thank you very much for listening. We love you very much, and you're doing a great job.
Love you, Jess.
Love you, Jen. Bye.
People could see our kawaii thing we do every night now.
Yeah, we do this every time.
Every time.
FYI.
Every time.
All right. Every time. Okay.